My name is Gary Clausing, and I'm the current music director at Stillwaters Church in Jackson, Wisconsin, and I'm super excited to have Jay Temez with us tonight. Jay is the author of the verses of one of the Stillwaters' favorite songs we've done here for many, many years, called Sanctuary. Sanctuary was an old hymn, right, that had a refrain to it but never had any verses. And Jay found himself in a situation when he was directing the music here to write those verses. Now, Jay, what years were you here at Stillwaters? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I think it was 96.
Okay.
So our first service, which was in a gymnasium here in Jackson. And I think we may have performed Sanctuary it might have been that first service, actually.
Really?
Yeah. And it was funny because when I was recruited to perform, the original pastor, Dan Schwerin, couldn't find musicians, and he was panicking. So I got a call because they bought the equipment from the music store that I worked at. So he says, really nice guy, and I had never met him. I dealt with another guy that would come in and help, deal with the sound. So I get this call from this pastor, and he says, I've exhausted all the resources. I followed everything I was supposed to do. The consultant said, you reach out, you get a hold of these people, music union, this and that. And he said, we just can't find anyone. Can you help us find any musicians? And I thought to myself as he's talking, like, wow, this guy's really nice. And man, I play guitar, I sing, and I'm thinking, I better help this guy, or maybe I'm going to go to hell or something, So I said, maybe I could help you out for your first, service. And it was the premiere service, so it was important that they have, the music. Mm-hmm. And he said, oh, well, that would be great. Oh, I would really appreciate it. And I said, okay, well, that's just for one. That buys you some time, and then you can find other artists to perform. And he said, yeah, no, just one. So I said, okay. And I went over to his house, and I met his wife, Debbie, and their kids, and he pulled out this really old hymn book.
Okay.
And it was like a traditional United Methodist hymn book.
Okay.
And these songs, I had never heard any of them. And Sanctuary, I think, well, actually, no, I don't think Sanctuary was in there. I'm sorry. But there was these other songs like, I'm trying to remember some of the names here. But On Eagle's Wings, okay, that was in there. You guys have heard that one, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yep.
Sure.
Anyways, all these other songs. So we started going through these songs, and I'm kind of an acoustic rock kind of guy, contemporary,
right?
And they're asking me to just start kind of plotting these things out, and play them like you hear them. So I'm playing through them, and they kind of had this look on their face, like it was kind of shock, and I said, am I doing this wrong? And they said, no, it's just we've never heard them like that before.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, that's where I started that first service. And I want to just say right now that I butchered all of those songs. Oh, matter of fact, Shine, Jesus, Shine.
Sure.
You played that one, right?
Yep, we played
Now, how many chords does that have? Jeez, it's...
Right, not many.
Well, no, I think the version that I played had a lot of chords that I didn't know. I thought I really knew music, but boy, they threw me for a loop. Yeah.
Okay.
So I butchered that song really bad. It was really embarrassing. But I tell you what, that crowd was really easy on me, and it was great.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that was the first service. I butchered the songs, and I sat back and I watched the service, and I was really moved. Yeah, that service was really something else. So at the end of the service, I walked up to Dan and I said, man, I was really moved by what you were saying. I just felt like you were talking to me.
Yeah.
And he said, well, that's great. So are you coming back next week? And I said, one more week. I'll come back. I'll come back next week. And that's it. Well, I'll tell you what, every service I kept saying that same thing. He said, are you coming back next week? I said, one more week. I'll come back one more week and I'll help you guys out. And that's it. You're on your own. And I don't know how many years that went on.
That's awesome.
Until they stopped asking if I was coming back.
That's awesome. So Sanctuary made its way into the rotation. And tell the story about how you came up with the verses for that.
Sure. So when we were having those first services in that gym, there was always some kind of technical difficulty. the projection would fail, the computer would freeze up, or the lamp would die, or sometimes there'd be, just a glitch, something would happen. And whenever there was a glitch, Dan would turn to the musicians, which was me for the first little bit, I was the band, but, he would say, Jay, can you play Sanctuary? And that was his go-to song.
Okay.
If something went wrong.
Yeah.
So I'd have to dig through the music and find the music. And, it was really kind of sudden when he popped that on you. So suddenly, as our band grew, you'd think I would have been able to think ahead, plan ahead, and say, he's probably going to pull out Sanctuary. And for the newer musicians, it was really rough because he would kind of jump on us and I didn't warn anyone. So they'd be scrambling to find the music. It was really funny. So anyways, I had memorized it by then.
Sure.
And it was just the chorus, right? It was, we all know that chorus. Well, that is in D, right? So when I'd be sitting there playing that song, Lord, prepare me, be a sanctuary. Well, when you get to the end, then pure and holy, tried and true, you'd end up in D again. So that's where all of a sudden I started hearing something there. I started hearing this next chord, which was the mystery chord we were talking about, that C sharp. So that C sharp kind of wanted to be there. I heard that from the D to that C sharp. And then it kind of led itself into that B minor. I thought, well, it just wants to walk down. So I'm sorry. Well, actually in that intro, I'm sorry. The first thing that I heard was that intro. So it was from the D, then down to the C sharp, the C sharp over the D. And then I heard back to the G, which I was recycling from the chorus.
Sure.
And then that, of course, the part where you hear that A7 in there. So that kind of, it was haunting, in my mind. It just kept wanting to be there. And that's when all of a sudden I kind of put it together, and I wrote it down. And I talked to Dan, I don't know how long it was. It was some time after that was kind of cycling through, and I said to him, I have this idea for Sanctuary, and I just want to ask if it's okay, maybe if we can try, maybe you can take a listen to it. And you know what he said to me? He says, well, just play it on Sunday morning.
Cool.
Yeah. And I thought, okay, why not? So I did that, and I kind of drummed up some quick lyrics that I was kind of going through at the time, and I was really having a lot of challenges in my life. I was really challenged at that time. We feel conflicted, we feel stressed. There's work, there's family, and then all the incidentals that life throws at you.
Sure.
And I think that's where those lyrics kind of manifested themselves. It was just reflecting what I was going through, and I was really leaning on the Lord at that time, and I was really looking for help.
Sure.
And so this song really was speaking to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So what came out of a situation where you were just trying to fill space during technical difficulties turned into just like I said, a song that's been sung with Stillwater's Church for 20 some years now. It's fantastic how long it's lasted.
I know. I'm actually amazed. It's when I got a call and you kind of asked me about Sanctuary, it kind of brought back those memories. And I sat down and I kind of listened to it, and I played it a little bit, and I thought, wow, this song is special.
It is special.
Yeah.
It is special. And it's found a special place in this congregation's heart. So we appreciate you coming today and singing this with us, and telling us a story about it, because I don't think a lot of people understand the story of how those words came to be, and they resonate with a lot of people at Stillwater's Church. And just what you said, because a lot of people are going through the same kind of feelings that you were going through at the time, and they find that kind of peace, and they find that unity and solidarity in that piece of music and the lyrics that you wrote so many years ago. So thanks again for coming out.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You bet.